Elroy. No, no, I don't. That's not what my character would do. Oh, no! Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Thank you so much. Today we're jumping into r/neckbeard stories. It is the final entry in the Star Wars Shenanigans saga, the final disposal of Elroy, I do suppose. I don't think anything too bad happens to HUTTBEARD. He seems to carry on until his actions catch up with him at a later date, but at least we know that he gets taken care of eventually. Elroy, sort of nebulous, you know, he's like an annoying dude, but I don't know if he's bad enough that I'm like, I hope he gets hit by a bus, you know? What I really hope, like I hope for most beards, is that he just reforms his ways, becomes a better person, a little bit of that delicious self-reflection, but I guess that all remains to be seen. We'll see how this thing goes today, and what the final outcome of the Star Wars Shenanigans saga is. So let's go ahead and we'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this r/neckbeard stories cringe. Also, I'm contractually obligated to say that we are currently live streaming this on Twitch. If you haven't caught me on Twitch quite yet, good luck. You'll never find me. Links in the description. See, it's a little bit of reverse psychology, right? Anyways, Star Wars Shenanigans, Episode 9. The Cries of That Guy. Walker. The Skywalker. Oh god, I don't even know what episode 9 is. The Rise of Skywalker? Is that what I'm going for? God, that new trilogy just really turned me off. The first 3, that was great, you know, maybe because I was young. The next 3, even being young, I kind of realized that it was crappy. I really did try to get into movies 7, 8, and 9. I saw 7, I'm like, oh, it has some practical effects, but practical effects can't save a storyline that just completely fell in on itself. I don't like it. I gotta be completely frank. I don't like it. We could have just done the first 3 movies and called it good, but George Lucas couldn't let it drop. I don't blame him, honestly. I'd sell out too. And now Disney, they're definitely gonna milk it until it's just a hollow husk, if it's not already. But I digress, I suppose. Let's get into the intro. I sat here for half an hour just staring at a blank screen, trying to figure out what to put here. God, I feel that so much. Use the Irish pirate. Don't build it up too much. You know, we understand that it's the end. It's gonna go beautifully no matter what. There doesn't have to be like a fireworks show or anything like that. I mean, a fireworks show helps, but I also understand, like, yeah, we can't make it more than it is, you know? It's the end. Every story must end, and this is the end for this story. So let's just see how it goes. So much of what I want to say would be better in outro, and yeah, that's where you'll find it. So this is indeed the finale of this Red exclusive saga. Proud of you for using the branding. So if it's the first Star Wars Shenanigan episode that you've read or heard, I would strongly encourage you to read the others first. They can be found on user The Irish Pirate 18's Reddit profile, or if you'd rather listen to them on YouTube, I mean, you're already here, aren't you? The playlist is down in the description. You can peruse at your leisure, but I would recommend starting with part 1, or 2, I guess. 2 is where Elroy gets introduced, but there is some, you know, critical backstory about Hal in part 1. Anyways, here's the cast list. Maybe I should have saved the alliterative cast list for the finale. But personally, I think it would be much better to do it this way. Taking some of my favorite descriptions, asides, and commentary about each of us and giving those snippets one last hurrah. I'm still sprinkling in some new things here or there for freshness' sake. Yeah, freshness is important. I'm not going to skip over the cast list in the final part. If it's completely recycled, I might consider skipping over it in the middle parts, but so far Irish Pirate has given us a fresh cast list every single time. Now that is dedication. We've got OP, of course, a 31-year-old gaming nerd with a no longer brand new job at a psychiatric hospital that put me 1 hour away from the game store instead of just 1 minute away. I was still setting aside that one night a week to play. Oh, God bless you for being so dedicated. I mean, it doesn't even seem like the sessions are going that well. This is mostly just an opportunity to hang out with your friends, right? The fact that the game is going on is just completely tertiary at this point, at least as far as I would be concerned. OP's character is Ferris Chafari Sabson, aka he's a chismedic with the life-saving skills of a world-class surgeon and the people skills of a methed-up Canadian goose. Honk! Combat-wise, he mostly just healed or yelled at people. By this point, his blaster had finally seen more action than an incel at a lesbian bar. That blaster's got quite a body count, if I can recall. I think it's 20+ people. And that was all in one day. Ferris is running through these hoes. Anyways, we also got Mac, the Bill to my Ted, the Goose to my Maverick. He liked anime and gaming, but the word milady never touched his lips, and he never wore a fedora. The man that got me into tabletop games in the first place. He's neckbeard light, you know, but there ain't nothing wrong with that. Neckbeard is not necessarily a dirty word. It is mostly in the context that we use it, but I would wager that most of the people interested in neckbeard content were once neckbeards or very close to themselves. Mac's character is Nala. What would you get if Jack Sparrow had a baby with Gamora and allowed it to be raised by Malcolm Reynolds and Irene Adler? Well, she was greedy and narcissistic, but still looked out for the group's well-being, like a mother that became PTA president by shoving another mom down the stairs and stepping on her neck at the bottom and then embezzling all the funds to buy her family a new minivan. But yeah, she's looking out for the family, and you gotta have some respect for that. Everybody wants a new minivan, right? Peacekeeper is arguably the nicest guy at the table. Hanging out with him would make you look in the mirror afterwards and ask yourself, why are you such an asshole? I didn't even have to meet Peacekeeper. I kind of just asked myself that out of habit at this point. Peacekeeper's character is Savo, an agile Rhodian with the reflexes of a coked-out mongoose, a sniper that was addicted to drinking industrial paint dye. Not kidding, it is in the rulebook. I mean, we all get thirsty. What quenches your thirst better than paint dye? I mean, probably because you literally do die, and then you're never thirsty again. So easy. I got it. Chainsmoker is a fun-loving gamer with the perpetual scent of cigarette smoke that you'd expect to find on an old French gigolo who's past his prime with nothing left to lose but time. God, that is so evocative. I don't know why the gigolo has to be French, but I like that. Nothing left to lose but time. But it probably gives Chainsmoker like a sadder feel than he deserves. We're only talking about the cigarette smoke, right? He's not actually like completely over life. It is an evocative statement. I don't know if it necessarily fits. But anyways, Chainsmoker's character's Roblox, a Nikto thug with a Texas level tendency to drill first and ask questions later. Giggity. His compelling arguments came in the form of an industrial plasma beam to whichever part of you he considered the most expendable. You gotta make it do what you gotta do, right? He's got one job, but goddamn does he love that job. He just likes drilling. Doesn't matter who you are, he'll drill you. Giggity. Hal is a now less socially awkward 20-ish-year-old that no longer wrangled with thoughts of self-assassination. Although he had grown less innocent in the company of degenerate gamers, he had gained enough confidence and self-respect to crawl out from under his mother's oppressive boot, never to return. Yeah, 2 fingers, Mom. I'm out of here. I'm flying the nest. She's like, yeah, you're 20. Get out. It's hilarious. No, but Hal's a good guy. I talked to him before. Very down-to-earth fellow. But his character is Delanis. More machine now than man. DeLorean. Our work with the Keelix was done, but he would forever have the hive droning softly in the back of his mind, pushing him ever closer to insanity. Yeah, it's like ants in your brain, except, you know, not physically. I don't know which one is worse, honestly. Scotty is a dude that's so proud of his Scottish heritage that you would think he had just taken the haggis boat to Ellis Island. Is that racist? I don't know. It's fine. He was a top-notch friend that would give you the shirt off his back, but not his kilt. No one wants an indecent exposure charge on their record, you know? I mean, you could make a new kilt. Just rip a couple holes in trash bags, stick your legs through. You're good to go. Standard issue gentle giant. But when Elroy made an insensitive remark about Hal's mental health, he almost gave the little grease goblin summer teeth. Some are over here, some are over there. I almost forgot about summer teeth, bro. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm glad you brought that one back around. Still gonna put it in my back pocket. Hopefully I won't lose it again. Scotty's character was Merwick, a vibro blade wielding Wookiee. He slices, he dices. He uses twin vibro blades to Jackson Pollock, the Empire's finest, on whatever canvas the battlefield of the day has to offer. Yeah, we saw that. Much like Elroy, he is a Jedi, but he doesn't make a big deal out of it. Elroy tries to make being a Jedi his whole fucking personality, and he still can't outperform the Wookiee. And of course, we've got our GM, that's HUTTBEARD. He also held back experience like a Victorian-era father, withholding outward displays of love for his children. You've turned 18, I shall give you one handshake, and you will be on your way. Welcome to adulthood, son. While Elroy might have been the neighbor who kept letting his dog shit on your front yard, HUTTBEARD was the one stealing your Wi-Fi password to look at child porn. Oh, God. Snaky? Yes. And far, far worse. I'm glad he's locked up, bro. I hope he's having the worst time. We've also got Elroy. Neither tall nor short, fat nor thin, fair nor grotesque. He couldn't look less memorable appearance-wise if I had been sipping a Cosby Colada upon meeting him. Cosby Colada's pretty good, though. If you want to forget some stuff, go ahead. All it takes is one. I remember he had greasy, brownish blonde hair and a patchy swath of facial hair, but apart from that, he could blend into a crowd of one. The one true main character of the campaign, of course. All things must revolve around him, or HUTTBEARD might fall behind on the rent. Even with HUTTBEARD on his payroll, he often argued with his pet. Honestly, it's super interesting to me that this dude doesn't just have some one-on-one sessions. Is it really necessary for everybody else to be involved? Like, you want to be the one true main character? Okay, just do that. Pay this guy to run some sessions for you, and you can feel like the biggest, baddest boy on the block. But no, I guess both of them thrive on other people's suffering. Anyways, Elroy's character was Pissant, the party's walking fuck-up factory. He wanted so badly to be the group's main character and crew leader, but selfishness and power-hungry tendencies put him at odds with the people that he sought to subjugate. I mean, that's bad leadership, isn't it? You can't vie for leadership, like beg for it, try and get there through power. What are you, a politician or something? Yeah, that's how leadership works. People are supposed to want to follow you. And now we are into the story. Oh gosh, the last story. How is it possibly true? Breaking my heart. This takes place during the same session as the last story. We had less than an hour left before the game store was scheduled to close, and despite HUTTBEARD's efforts to wrap everything up by closing time, We found that although we did not yet have to go home, we could and would be staying there for another hour at the very least. Yeah, this is not going to get wrapped up with a pretty bow in one night. We left off with Elroy force choking the general that we had just spent months rescuing. Our protests fell on mostly deaf ears, or rather, ears that had perfect hearing but were currently playing host to a pair of earbuds, pumping his head full of raging death metal. It was either that or the My Little Pony theme song. I actually don't know the My Little Pony theme song. Thank God for that. I'd like to pretend it was death metal, but we all know that Elroy ain't cool enough for that. He's too try-hard. Metalheads are like the most laid-back people ever. That ain't Elroy. I guarantee it. Elroy waited until the general was about to pass out before dropping him and running to the base hangar as fast as his little robo legs would carry him. Was it a lovely day for a picnic? Not yet. Which, as you might remember, is the MK Ultra phrase that OP can whisper to their droid to turn off Elroy's cybernetic legs. It is a lovely day for a picnic. I don't know how you've held off on springing the trap this long. Infinite patience. While OP was atop the party's bandwagon, hurling negative commentary at Elroy, Ferris was oblivious to the goings-on. He stooped over to Lannis, attaching his new legs. You gotta do the doctor thing first. HUTTBEARD rolled to see how long the general would be incapacitated. He struggled to catch his breath and wasn't able to sound the alarm until Pissant was already in the cockpit of his long-awaited X-Wing. Is it really worth all of this, dude? Your character's going to die. You're not friends with the Empires, you're not friends with the Rebels, you're not even friends with your party at this point. It's all come to a head. But Elroy just expects HUTTBEARD to let him continue living no matter what bullshit he pulls. However, other people in the group, yeah, they're gonna start pressuring HUTTBEARD about this. There's a reason this is the last episode. Elroy cannot get away with it.
He can't keep getting away with it!
So the klaxon call of the base's alarm system drowned out the sound of Pissant passing the piloting check to take off and exiting the hangar unimpeded. Dumping all of his recently obtained experience into his piloting skill was paying off. He had this plan all along. The party convened in the infirmary since Delanis wasn't quite up to the task of hobbling to a new location. We were talking over our options and trying to figure out what was happening, but we were constantly interrupted by Elroy.
Guys, you need to get out of here. You should head to the ships and meet me in space. Bring the cruiser so I can dock on it.
Yeah, Elroy loves docking. Until finally Max said, "Chill, man. We don't even know what's happening in game." Peacekeeper. "Yeah, and even if we did, that doesn't mean we drop everything that we're doing and just bail on the rebels." Elroy.
"Well, we can't stay with them now. They're gonna try and kill us."
Yeah, us. I don't know how we got pulled into this shit pile. How about they're gonna try and kill you? And also, I don't care. OP, who's this we that you're talking about? Of the 7 of us, only 1 stole an X-Wing. Precisely. I'll throw him under the bus in no time flat. Elroy.
But you heard the general. He thinks I'm the group's leader."
Scotty. "Where did he get that impression, do you think?" Elroy.
"Well, I'm the one that cut him free, so he just sort of assumed."
Scotty.
"And did you correct him?"
Elroy.
I didn't get a chance."
Chainsmoker.
"What? Yes, you did."
Peacekeeper. "Not even 2 minutes ago." Elroy.
Well, we don't really have a leader, so I didn't think."
OP. Hi. have you met Nala? No, he just wants the assumption to keep going. You realize we could talk to the general once he wakes up and be like, we aren't with that guy. I didn't know he was like that. We'll help you to capture him. How about that? It doesn't matter what the general assumed. Go correct his assumptions right now. Declare your allegiance to at least one of the factions, lest you end up with no friends in the universe and therefore dead. Elroy just says,
Guys, quit yelling at me. I can't go back and change it now.
You're right. You've made this decision for all of us, but I don't necessarily have to go along with it. Hal?
Pissant lied to the general and screwed the rest of us over.
Elroy?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but it's just what my character would do.
Oh, God, here we go again. I can't take it. Once he says it 3 times, the universe is torn asunder, for those not privy to that quite yet. Hal says,
do you know what happens to characters that screw over this party? Because I do.
Yes, Hal. Sweet justice will be delivered. Elroy?
Guys, you can keep yelling at me, or you can fix the problem.
Yeah, fix the problem you created. Huh. Interesting that. OP. I'm pretty sure the rebels have an idea on how we might be able to do that. HUTTBEARD.
As you're all gathered in the infirmary, the door flies open, and a squad of rebel commandos pours in, surrounding you. They level their blasters at you and part, long enough to let the general in.
HUTTBEARD as the general.
You're all under arrest.
OP as Ferris. What the bloody hell are you on about? HUTTBEARD as the general.
Your leader just assaulted me and stole an X-Wing.
Mac is Nala. I did no such thing, man. HUTTBEARD as the general. Confused.
But the Jawa said.
OP is Ferris. Oh, I bet he said a lot of things. He's got a bad habit of that. HUTTBEARD is the general.
Leader or not, you still have to answer for his actions. He's part of your team.
Peacekeeper is Savo. Not really. He just sort of started following us, and we could never find a good way to get rid of him. Until today. Elroy.
Good. Flip a destiny point to upgrade your deception check so he believes it.
Peacekeeper looking Elroy dead in his very eyeballs. It's not deception. Elroy.
What? Fuck you, dude.
I mean, it is completely accurate, is it not? Nobody ever wanted you, and now that you've shit the bed, there's no reason to keep you around. You've screwed over your entire team, and so your entire team is gonna screw you right back. HUTTBEARD as the general, breaking in before anyone else can hurt his master's feelings anymore.
And you're still responsible for his actions because you brought him here. Look what he did.
The general points to his neck. There are bruises on his neck in the shape of a hand. Like a small Jawa-sized hand, or can the hand be as big as you need it? I guess it's the force. You can make your hand whatever size you want. And if that's the case, I want to bitch slap Elroy across the room using like a gorilla-sized hand. Just put him through that fucking wall. HUTTBEARD.
Ferris, give me a medicine check. Easy difficulty.
It would take an astronomical level of bad luck for me to fail this check. I didn't understand why I was rolling one at all, but I didn't argue because I wasn't Elroy. Yeah, you don't want to assume anything. There's always a chance to fail, okay? Let the dice speak. HUTTBEARD looks over the dice and nods at the result.
All right. You examined the bruises and realize it must have taken a strong hand to do this. You can't tell for sure, but it looks like the bruises might have been spread too far apart to have been done by Jawa-sized hands.
Which is what I said earlier, right? You can make the hand any size. It's the fucking Force. It's magic, all right? I 100% didn't get the implication. What he was saying, more or less, was that he had choked himself to give visible bruises. Pissant wouldn't have left bruises because he was using the Force to cut off the general's airway, not physically crushing his neck. Is that how that works? Whatever, I guess that's how that works. It's magic. I ain't gotta explain shit, all right?
It's magic, you know.
OP as Ferris, he did this to you and then stole an X-Wing. Elroy,
Dude, what the fuck? He just said the hand was too big to be mine. What are you doing?
OP, dude, stop metagaming. You have no way of knowing what my character is saying, doing, or thinking. Yeah, the bruise is too big for one hand, but Pissant has two hands, last I checked. And yeah, they're robotic, aren't they? Robotic hands can also be not Jawa-sized, I'm pretty sure. That's all I really want is gorilla arms. I want to be a cybernetic gorilla when I grow up. Elroy,
But force choking someone wouldn't even leave a bruise at all. If you don't act on that, then you're metagaming.
what? How do you know that they have knowledge of this? Like, how familiar could Ferris possibly be with the Force since he's not a Jedi and shit? You know my whole backstory? You know what's going on? Keep your beak out. OP says, no, I'm not. Who's to say if Ferris even knows enough about the Force to know what it can do? God, OP's just taking every word right out of my mouth. I'm gonna stop. And even if he did, why would he be thinking about that in this situation? You have never, not once, told any of us that you're Force sensitive. You wanted to keep it a secret from us. Well, you succeeded. And now I've got no way of knowing what I'm looking at. I mean, isn't the fact that he has a lightsaber proof enough? I guess you don't need to have the Force to wield a lightsaber. All you need is like some fucking kyber crystals. Shove it in a handle, you're good to go. You got a beam sword. But to wield it like as well as a Jedi would, I guess you do need the Force. The thing is, Elroy doesn't wield it well at all. So yes, I believe that he's not Force sensitive. I haven't seen any proof of that. Elroy says,
But he's obviously lying.
OP, not as far as Ferris knows. He's got no reason to doubt the general. This is getting interesting. The plot thickening up quite nicely. Elroy just wants Ferris to play the game his way, but yeah, Ferris has his own machinations going on to get rid of Elroy. So who will win? I mean, I hope it's OP, or else, you know, it's not much of a story. Like, yeah, Elroy won, everything went his way, the group split up. Like, wow, that's a sad ending to the story. That's not the way it's gonna go, come on. Elroy?
But you have reasons to doubt Pissant?
Oh, so many reasons to doubt him. More than I could list, really. Stealing from us, leaving Hal to die multiple times, stealing from other people, and putting us in compromising situations. The list went on and on, but I didn't have time to list every single offense. I mean, a simple yes would suffice. HUTTBEARD as the general.
See? You trusted him enough to bring him here. He could have killed me. He's gone, so you're going to have to take his punishment.
HUTTBEARD is trying so hard to save Elroy's skin right now. So ridiculous, dude. How does that make any sense? But I guess what the general says goes. So how is OP gonna get out of this one? OP as Ferris says, what if we brought him back? HUTTBEARD is the general.
If you bring him back here, he's going to face execution.
Elroy paled at this. He decided in that moment that he would not allow himself to be taken alive. Elroy,
Did I make it off planet?
HUTTBEARD rolls some dice.
Yes, you break the atmosphere before the rebels had time to get the pilots to their ships.
Elroy,
Then I'm gonna make a jump to light speed.
Mac, you can't. Elroy,
Oh, yes, I can. That's exactly what my character would do.
it always is, isn't it?
You guys aren't close enough to stop me.
OP, no one said we're gonna stop you, but you literally can't make a jump to light speed. Not safely, anyways. Elroy,
What? Why?
Mac, dude, do you know anything about X-Wings? Whoa! Elroy,
I mean, yeah. I own one now, and I maxed out my piloting.
just because you stole one doesn't mean that you know a goddamn thing about it. Let's get that perfectly clear right now. Elroy seems to love skipping around parts in the player guide and just like bending things to his purpose. I guess he figured he could do the same with this X-Wing. Peacekeeper has much my same thought and says, that doesn't matter. Someone can know how to drive a car without knowing everything about what's going on under the hood. Yeah, precisely. Scotty,
You've got the ship, but what don't you have?
hey, how about you at home listening to this video right now? Do you know what it was that Elroy was missing? I'll give you a few seconds. If you said astromech droid, you win your choice of 1,000 Teddy coins or 250 bit marbles. I mean, the market's down right now, but if you hold on to them, they might be worth something later. Maybe. Other acceptable answers include common sense, humility, and the cryogenically frozen hat of Walt Disney. Hey, what you gonna do with that? That's weird. Put that back. You can't jump without the astromech droid? I guess I didn't know that about X-Wings, but I'm also not pretending to be the expert, stealing one from the head of the rebel army. Elroy shakes his head and says,
I don't know.
So Twitch chat actually did get it right with the astromech droid, because apparently the droids calculate their trajectory and celestial drift of planets and whatnot that could get in the way. So yeah, he needs his own little R2-D2 bot droid thing, or else he's, yeah, liable to crash into a planet. Moving at light speed is not easy. You gotta bump into some stuff probably. There's a lot of room and space, but when you're traveling at speeds like that, I think even like the slightest pebble could probably kill you. Anyways, Mac gives Elroy the answer and says, "Where's your droid?" Elroy,
I don't need one. My piloting skill.
OP interrupts, "Piloting doesn't mean shit for jumping to light speed. What's your astro navigation score?" Yes, Elroy could fly circles around any and or all of us now, but he didn't know how to use a galactic GPS. Good. Go get lost. That does seem like an awful fate, man. Lost in space? Ooh. And actually, a passable Netflix show for the first season or two. Elroy says,
I am 2.
Your score is 2. Okay. Max says, even if it was maxed out, you'd be making a blind jump. Elroy,
I'm not gonna do a blind jump. I'm not an idiot.
Citation needed on that one. OP, then you're just gonna have to sit there and wait. X-Wings have very limited navigation computers. They need astromech droids to calculate their routes. Elroy,
I don't think that's right.
Scotty pulls it up on his laptop.
See for yourself then.
Elroy looks it over and goes a little green around the gills.
But that's not...
Turning to me and Mac.
You guys have to help me.
Oh, do I now? And OP says, did we? Did we though? No, we did not have to help him, but a thought did occur to me. One that I would credit to my wife, as it is her sort of devious. I might write a wholesome post about her one day on the subreddit, outlining how and why I love that mischievous maiden, and that post is indeed up if you want to visit the Irish Pirate 18's Reddit profile. I don't know where the hell that would fit on the channel, but it is a good read. OPS Ferris says, let's get to our ships and we'll bring him back. Mac shot me a look. I tried my best to communicate with him telepathically. Either we were able to tap into latent psychic powers, or he just trusted me enough to follow along. I mean, you are best bros. You know I'm not gonna fuck all of us over. Just believe me. HUTTBEARD as the general.
Fine, but you're taking Delanus with you.
We had forgotten that technically Delanus wasn't part of our crew. He was a long-standing and trusted member of the Rebel Alliance that had been attached to our crew as a sort of liaison. OP is Ferris. That's fair. Done. HUTTBEARD is the general.
We're gonna confiscate their weapons. You're keeping yours. If they try anything traitorous, I expect you to deal with them.
Hal is Delanus.
Yes, sir. Consider it done.
Were we happy to be leaving our weapons behind? Not even remotely, but we got to take our ships out in pursuit, so there was that. Elroy.
Sorry about your weapons. We can get you some new ones when we get out of here. I'll help you with it. Least I can do, you know?
Mac. The very least, man. Elroy.
Thanks for bringing the Gazanti. I'll need to dock if we're gonna get out of here.
He really thinks that he's dragging his whole crew along. Any sane person would hand him over to the general, right? I don't want to be at odds with the entire Rebel Alliance. We're already at odds with the Empire, all right? I need to keep some friends out here. And if sacrificing Elroy allows me to do that, fucking have him. Matter of fact, even if it didn't allow me to do that, you could still have him. Just get rid of him, please. HUTTBEARD gives us our piloting difficulty. We're not having to take off in a firefight, so it wasn't a hard check. Nala, Merwick, and Roblox took the carrier. I took the YT-2400, think Millennium Falcon, if it was designed by the people that invented safety scissors. That is an extremely accurate description. I had Delanus and Savo on board. Rachel, who was now an adept pilot, was at the helm. Hell yeah, let the droid do the driving. I got all kinds of other shit to do back here. I'm gonna go clean up, as a matter of fact. I'm itchy. Gonna go take a shower. You know what I'm getting at? It's Chris Trucker references. We broke atmosphere and pulled close to Elroy. Elroy's pissant.
Good. You made it out alive. Stay still so I can dock with...
Mac is Nala. We're not doing that. Elroy is pissant.
What? Why?
OP is Ferris. Because we're not setting off on a merry adventure with you, you wee wanker. We're taking you back. Elroy.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
OP. What I said we would do. Bringing you back. You could have seen this coming 1,000 miles away, but I guess he just didn't want to see it coming. He didn't want to believe it. You did this to yourself, Elroy. I don't feel the least bit bad. Elroy says,
No way! The general said they'd execute me!
Mac, you heard that, but Pissant didn't. Elroy,
I would sense it. through the Force.
Scotty.
Using which power?
Elroy.
What? Huh? What do you mean?
Scotty.
I've been reading up on the Force more. I've got my combat skills where I want them, so I've started looking into other Force powers to spend my experience on. Did you forget that Merwick is Force sensitive too?
Elroy.
Well, if HUTTBEARD lets me.
Scotty.
If he lets you, then he's letting you cheat. I don't think that he's just going to let you break obvious rules like that.
And then Scotty turns to look at HUTTBEARD and says,
Right?
moment of truth. Would HUTTBEARD double down and give Elroy his way? I mean, I definitely expect him to. He is a weasel, but that would also presume that, like, you know, he doesn't care about being judged by the rest of the group, which he definitely does. So I don't know. It's sort of a catch-22. HUTTBEARD.
No. If there are no rules for that, a power that covers that, then you can't do it.
Wow. Wow. HUTTBEARD actually stuck to his guns. I mean, he's still a disgusting child molesting piece of trash that I hope rots in prison. But that's at least 1 point in his corner. Still like 999 million in the hole, but I am shocked by that, at least. Elroy says,
Well, then I want to drop some of the experience from my piloting to pick up that power.
Mac. No way, dude. You can't just rewrite your character on the fly like that. Whoa! You chose to drop all your experience in the piloting, man. That's the way you gotta play it out now. And we are taking you back. Elroy.
I'm not going back with you. Pisshead isn't stupid enough to head back to people that are calling him a thief.
Okay, but from all the experience that we've got, Pisshead is pretty stupid. And he probably would. OP. Yeah, that tends to happen when people steal stuff. Mac is Nala, hopping back into character to move us along. Pisshead, you've got to come back with us. If you don't, the rebels are going to brand all of us as traitors. Whoa! At this point, I send HUTTBEARD a text, telling him that I want to have Rachel disable Pissant's legs. Here it is. Lovely day for a picnic. HUTTBEARD checks his phone and makes a sour face. Yeah, it didn't quite go how you thought it was going to go, did it? He rolls some dice and texts back. HUTTBEARD.
She tells you that she's not sure if it worked or not, but that she sent the signal. He might not know until he tries to use them again.
Unfortunately, X-Wings don't have gas pedals, so it wouldn't be until he stepped out of the cockpit that we would know for sure. Okay, then what's the point of disabling the legs at that point? I'm a little bit lost on that, but OP probably has a plan. It's fine. Elroy is Pissant.
We don't need them. We can make a living in the Outer Rim doing our own thing. I'm not going back, and that's that.
Yeah, I know I hit you, baby, but just stay with me. I did it because I love you. We could build a life together in the Outer Rim. Why don't you rim my ass? How about that? If that was indeed that, then my options were exhausted. HUTTBEARD.
You detect several X-Wings and Y-Wings approaching from the planet's surface.
Oh, here it is. Elroy is Pissant.
Guys, we gotta go now.
OP. All right then. OP is Ferris. Savo, Delanus, get on the guns. Peacekeeper is Savo.
Okay. Are you sure?
OP is Ferris. Yes. Hal. I'm not going to. Delanus wouldn't attack the rebels. He would let himself get blown up first. Mac had Scotty and Chainsmoker move their characters to gun turrets as well. OP is Ferris. Savo, are you ready? Peacekeeper is Savo.
I guess.
Elroy is Pissant.
As soon as I dock with Mac's ship, we can...
OP is Ferris. Target Pissant's engines. Elroy.
What?
OP is Ferris. Fire! Well, that came out of left field, didn't it? You spent this whole time getting rused. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Not even Hal knew. He's like, I'm not getting on the guns. I'm not going to fire on my own people. Little did you know, we taking Pissant out. Engines disabled? Hey, no problem. Lasso him up, take him back in. Beautiful. Peacekeeper asks HUTTBEARD for the difficulty because he's targeting a specific part of the ship. HUTTBEARD upgrades the check. Peacekeeper rolls the attack, but ship gunnery doesn't go off the same skills as using blasters. The shot breaks on the X-Wing shield. Elroy,
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
OP, I told you in game, dude. We're taking you back in. Now this is happening. Or you make that blind jump to light speed and crash into a planet. It's your choice. Elroy,
I'm gonna fire a proton torpedo at Ferris's ship.
at this point, HUTTBEARD has to call for initiative. Rachel outrolls Pissant, so our ship gets to act first. Ooh, Pissant goes first and then Nala's ship. Oh, this is so juicy. I love PK, little bit of PvP. Oh, yes, everybody blow your ex-teammates up. This is wonderful. This is exactly how I wanted it to end, with fireworks. So Rachel moves us closer to position. I use inspiring rhetoric to increase Savo's check. At this point, Delanis takes the other gun turret and joins in. They fire at Pissant's engines, and they're able to hit one of them with a few shots. It's damaged, but for now, still functional. Bro, there's no way that this is gonna end well for him. He is already extremely fucked, and yeah, he did it to himself. How did you think you were gonna get away with any of this? And then it was Elroy's turn. Elroy says,
All right, I'm gonna shoot him with the proton torpedo. I don't even give a fuck if they die now.
HUTTBEARD,
Give me a...
Peacekeeper,
No way. There's no way that you could do that.
Elroy,
Why not? You guys shot at me. Why shouldn't I try to blow you all up?
Peacekeeper,
Oh, no, you should definitely try, but you're gonna have to use your blasters.
Elroy,
No, X-Wings can carry proton torpedoes. That's what they used on the Death Star.
Peacekeeper,
Right. When they were going into battle, one of the preparation steps for that would have been to load the fighters with bombs and torpedoes. You don't leave that kind of ordnance loaded in a ship that's just sitting in a hangar. Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? That stuff gets locked up in reinforced storage areas until and unless it's needed. There's no way in hell that the rebels would leave their ships loaded when they're not going into battle.
Peacekeeper's war knowledge jumps to the forefront and shuts down whatever the hell Elroy was trying to do. Beautiful.
That might be how people do things in our world, but this is Star Wars. They don't have to follow the same rules that we do.
Oh boy. Peacekeeper says to HUTTBEARD,
Tell me I'm wrong.
in a show of solidarity, the rest of the group turns to HUTTBEARD and united behind Peacekeeper's argument. Oh, he's gonna fold again. This is beautiful. You could see the pain on HUTTBEARD's face as he shook his head. Oh, I love it so much. Extreme catharsis. So awesome. HUTTBEARD says,
No, you're wrong.
to Elroy,
You don't have any proton torpedoes. You're gonna have to use the blaster cannons.
Elroy,
But against two freighters? There's no way I'm gonna be able to even scratch him.
Yeah, that's the point. Turn yourself in. Accept your death with a little bit of dignity. Would you? Could you? No, he's not a dignified individual. Mac. Then you just need to come to peace with the fact that you are going back with us. Elroy.
No, I don't. That's not what my character would do. Oh no!
Oh, how many world-ending events is that in this series? At least 4 or 5. Please, let's never do that again. We might not need to worry about it if we do get rid of Elroy right now. If you're dead, then it doesn't matter what your character wanted to do in their previous life when they weren't dead yet. That's not one. That doesn't count. I said it in a completely different way. OP says, then you're either going to lose your engines or you're going to blow up. Elroy?
No, not yet. It's still my turn.
Peacekeeper? Dude, what are you? Elroy?
I'm gonna make a blind jump.
You dead. At least you're dead at your own hands, but you're definitely dead. Silence. Utter silence. Elroy gathered up his dice.
What do I need to roll?
HUTTBEARD.
Are you sure?
Elroy.
Yes.
Eyes getting a little watery and voice starting to break.
I don't have a choice. If I don't jump, they're gonna kill my engines. And then the rebels are gonna kill me.
HUTTBEARD.
Oh, okay.
This is so wild. He bitch made for real. Can't even stand up, take his death like a man. You caused this. These are the results of your actions. And you still just can't accept it. So yes, HUTTBEARD gives Elroy the difficulty, and Elroy rolls. He succeeds in making a jump, but there's really no way of knowing where he'll end up. HUTTBEARD pulls out a map of the galaxy, and his finger traces along coordinates that he never really explained. His finger stops on one of the stars. If he doesn't shoot straight into the sun, he'll at least have a nearby planet that he can go to while he figures out his next move. The problem is that HUTTBEARD clearly can't decide what to do. He pointed at the star, right? Dude crashed into the sun, I'm pretty sure. But again, the real question is HUTTBEARD going to fudge the roll and allow Elroy to live? Considering this is the end of the saga, I think not, but I might be unpleasantly surprised. That means Elroy's role should have ended Pissant's reign of terror. Right then, right there. HUTTBEARD looked at his phone and visibly swallowed a knot of muscles in his throat. He cleared his throat and said, HUTTBEARD,
we'll see what happened to him next week.
boo! What a fucking cop-out. You know damn well what happened to him, HUTTBEARD. Just say it. Go ahead and say it. I'm sorry that your lord and master killed his own character, essentially. You already saved him so many times. Just tell us all what happened. He crashed into the sun. He died. This is so fucking lame. We groaned and we protested. We wanted to know what was going to happen. HUTTBEARD insisted that
we would have to wait.
I ain't waiting. I ain't gonna wait. We're not leaving this goddamn store until you spell it out for us. A strange calmness fell over the group as we accepted that. All but one, at least. You know who. Bro, Elroy, don't push your luck. He's already saving your ass, I'm pretty sure. Not a word was spoken, for now Elroy was broken. I can't remember if he cried when he packed his bags and went outside. By next week, HUTTBEARD would decide if that's when Pissant died. I think that's like some American Pie. I'm pretty sure. I didn't sing it at all, but now that I read it out loud, it's definitely American Pie. If that's when Pissant died, and we were singing bye, bye, little Jawa guy. You're so full of shit. We can't wait to see you die. I don't know. It was late enough that I would be missing out on my rack time by at least an hour, but I hadn't left a session feeling this good in, well, since before Elroy had joined the table. I didn't have any answers. None of us did, of course, but I was optimistic. You really hold out hope that HUTTBEARD will do the right thing? If he was gonna do the right thing, he would have done it right then and there. Be like, yeah, he crashed with the sun, it's all over. Sorry, Elroy, roll up a new character if you want. If Pissant had blown himself up, he wouldn't be our problem anymore. We would have to decide if we pushed Elroy away altogether, or if we would give him a chance to pull a Hal and take the loss of his character as a learning opportunity. Don't make that mistake. He's gotta go. I was just ready to go home, but I was interrupted. Elroy came almost running up to me. For a second, I thought he was actually gonna attack me. I braced myself for it, but he drew up short and had the most pathetic expression on his face that I had ever seen. It does make me feel kind of sad for him, because you could tell, like, this is all that dude has going on in his life. He doesn't really have any friends outside of this group of people that don't really even like him. At the end of the day, I do hold hope in my heart. I hope Elroy reforms and is able to find, like, some meaningful friendships. Is he annoying as shit? Did he take this whole session off the rails? Yeah, absolutely, but it doesn't make him, like, the worst person that I've ever seen, to be quite fair. Let's all remember that. HUTTBEARD is the one that really deserves our ire. Elroy says,
Dude, can we please talk about this? HUTTBEARD might say that I didn't die, and I need to know what we're gonna do next.
OP, what are you talking about? What is there to figure out? Either he's dead or we're gonna have to track him down. Elroy?
Come on, man. Don't do this to me.
OP, it's not just me. Elroy?
No, but you're the one that told Peacekeeper to attack me. We could work this out and...
OP, dude, this isn't anything personal against you. Ferris is following orders. Your character is under attack because he stole from the rebels. If we're gonna keep working with them, then we don't have a choice. Exactly. You're reaping what you sowed right now. How did you think you'd steal an X-Wing and just walk away? Elroy?
But we don't have to keep working with them. We can go do our own thing. Come on, just talk to me about it, please.
OP? Dude, no. This isn't an out-of-game conflict. This is purely in-game. This isn't a conversation for Elroy and OP. This is a conversation for Pissant and Ferris. Elroy?
But it won't matter. Come on, man, please. If you and I don't work something out, then...
I never would have imagined that it would come to this. Never. Since the first session when he came in like a swaggering peacock, would I have envisioned a day when Elroy was throwing himself at my mercy and begging me like this. I think I liked you better as a swaggering peacock. This is just gross. Get the fuck out of here. Stop talking to me. I feel sick looking at you. Little puppy dog eyes. That shit might work on your mother, but it ain't gonna work on me. This could change everything. This could give me the edge that I needed to force him into line. The fact that I let him live would forever be the sword of Damocles hanging over his head. You know, if he was a normal person. Yes, take note. OP is a psychiatrist, and He's not gonna fall for this. He diagnosed Elroy the second that boy walked in, and he knows how it's gonna go if he lets him live. So yeah, you can't let him live. The fact is, he wasn't the sort to keep any kind of promise made in an emotional state like this. Yes, he was on the verge of crying at that moment, but there was still a vast sea of anger and bitterness behind that. If I were to let him live, I would pay for it. If we didn't follow through on this, the message that we would be sending would be, you can do whatever you want. Screw us over. Bend us over a barrel, spit in our faces, and tell us that it's raining. All of that is just A-okay. And no, I wasn't going to do that. I don't know why he decided that I was the one that he needed to convince, but here it was. The decision was in my hand. I was the old man in Squid Game staring down at the buttons. I looked around. The others were over at one of their cars talking about who knows what. I was alone. There was no one to try and talk me into or out of choosing how this would go. I mean, it seems like Nala is the leader in game, but OP, he the actual leader, you know? People look to him quite a little bit, more than he knows. He's definitely worth looking up to. In my talks with him, I have learned at least that much. I looked back at Elroy and shook my head. OP, I'm sleepy. It's past my bedtime already, and again, this really isn't an out-of-character conversation. We can figure this out, but it'll have to be in-game. Elroy,
But Ferris is just gonna tell the rest of the group to capture me and take me back to the rebels.
I knew what I had to do. I knew what I had to say. I took a deep breath and met his eyes. OP, probably, but that's just what my character would do. Oh, that is sweet. That is fucking ambrosia. Yes, always do that. Turnabout is fair play. He said it. He fucking said it. Oh, this is catharsis. This whole story, I know it's just a Star Wars tabletop, but the way that it has turned out has given me like such catharsis. I have a great feeling going up and down my spine. It's like a little tickle. I haven't felt this in so long. Usually it's just like an impact drill. My skull hammering my spine into powder as I cringe. But today, I actually get to just enjoy a story and love how everything turned out. And, oh, truly we are blessed. Thank you so much, Irish Pirate, for writing this one up. I love it. Well, everyone met again the next week. All but one, at least. HUTTBEARD broke the news to us that Elroy had quit the campaign. HUTTBEARD had asked him for his character sheet, saying that if he was still alive, he would make him an enemy that we could face later. Ooh, that would be juicy. I mean, it's not really PvP anymore, but still, we get to wrap up this plot point. Elroy, in response, had ripped up his character sheet and confetti tossed the pieces in the general direction of the trash can. Oof. We never saw Pissan again. To this day, I don't know if Rachel was able to successfully deactivate his legs. I don't even know if he survived the blind jump. HUTTBEARD never told us one way or the other. I mean, yeah, one way or the other, it was still going to be over for him, and I think he knew that. So I don't know if he even knew whether or not he survived the jump, because yeah, it doesn't matter. We went back to the rebels, and the general told us that we had 2 weeks to find him and return the stolen X-Wing. We told him that the little guy had made a blind jump, and he could be anywhere in the galaxy. It was not an excuse that the general found acceptable. Man, I'm about to choke this general out myself. Uh-oh, here we go again. HUTTBEARD had already decided that our time with the rebels had come to an end, I'm convinced. He made a point of telling me that the bruises were self-inflicted without me asking to examine them. He wanted me and the rest of us to see the rebel general as deceitful and untrustworthy. He wanted us to follow Pissan and leave the rebels. Our refusal had thrown his plans out the window. You really trying to bring this back around still? Give up, bro. You just railroading your players. HUTTBEARD does have like the occasional good idea, but yeah, stuff like that lets me know that he is just as shitty a GM as he is a person. So we made a costly deal. The general accepted that there was just no way that we could find Pissant within that time frame in exchange for one of our ships. Ferris had to give up his YT 2400 to spare the group from the wrath of the Rebel Alliance. But that wasn't a fair trade to us, so we left on neutral terms. We weren't the Rebels' enemies, but nor were we their friends. I mean, if they're not trying to kill you at the end of it all, yeah, I'd say that's a win. That's fine. Hal had to make a new character because Delanis wouldn't leave the Rebels for us. Poor Hal. Rolling new characters every other week and shit. The campaign did end shortly after that. Paradoxically, the game just felt dull without Elroy there. Yeah, we need somebody to shit on. That's just how it works. That's not to say that we missed him, of course, but there was something about the slow burning hatred that just kept us on the edge of our seats. But when the torture disconnects the go-kart battery from your balls, there's nothing left but numbness. Call him up, bring him back. Remind yourself why you wanted him to leave in the first place. We had one last series of missions before the epilogue that involved us fixing the atmosphere on an abandoned industrial world. The inhabitants had all either fled or died, so it was pretty much a finders keepers situation, and thus Nala came to own her own planet, named Nala. It's not the most clever name, but I'll allow it. And it was here that she repurposed an old manufacturing building to become the beating heart of Nala Corp. Yeah, adventuring's all well and good to make some money, but how do you make vast sums of wealth that you'll never be able to spend? Late stage capitalism. That's right! Hop on board, or get the fuck out of the way! Ferris Labs, a subsidiary of Nala Corp, served as its parent company's research and development department. Ferris and Rachel went on to lead a team of doctors and engineers that developed cutting-edge cybernetics that combined Ferris's understanding of medicine and Rachel's intimate knowledge of machinery. They even developed a colto-based serum for beings whose bodies typically resisted or outright rejected cybernetics. Oh, it's all coming full circle. Savo spent his days testing new blasters in the weapons manufacturing division, and still occasionally served as Nala's personal pilot. Merwick was proud to become Nala Corp's head of security. Hal's new character, about whom I can remember nothing, served as his right paw man. Nala and Roblox, in a move that absolutely no one saw coming, got married? Why? No one knows. Love is blind, I guess, and settles hard sometimes. Who are you dunking on in that sentence? Probably Roblox. He doesn't get a whole lot of love from OP. And that was the end of the campaign. HUTTBEARD would go on to host another Star Wars campaign thereafter, where we all played characters that were loyal to the Empire in the final days before its collapse, but there was nothing particularly cringeworthy about it, so it's not really worth detailing, except to say that Hal played the face of the group and had a favorite alias, Gary Busey. Imperial Health Inspector. Gary Busey, bro. It's too ridiculous. HUTTBEARD, as I've mentioned a time or two, was arrested not too long ago, and all of his heinous deeds came to light. He's currently serving, to the best of my knowledge, multiple life sentences. If he ever touches grass again, it'll be whilst collecting trash at gunpoint on the side of the highway. And honestly, that's more than he deserves. Put him against the wall. Elroy joined another gaming group the week after he made an unceremonious departure from our company, and they kicked him out after 2 sessions. Hilarious. This fucking beautiful. I don't know where he is or what he's doing now, but I'm sure he's being a pain in someone's ass. Well, better them than me. Probably his parents' ass, honestly. It's so funny. I'm sad that it kind of went out with a whimper at the very end, but the way that the group dealt with turning Elroy in, making sure that his character had no out, pressing HUTTBEARD into going along with what the rules said, you basically killed Elroy with the rules that he so regularly defied or bent to his will. And I think that's justice enough. I think that's poetic. So what, Elroy's entire life didn't implode. Like I said, overall, he's annoying, but he's not like the worst dude ever. So I do hope that he gets it figured out and finds a group that he can vibe with eventually. Anyways, now it's parody time. Frank Sinatra, My Way. Oh, Lord. I'm not going to sing this in the Beard voice because that's difficult. I'm also not going to sing this in the Frank Sinatra voice because I can't. So I'll just do my best. How's that? And now the end draws near. The others drop polite pretenses. No chance to make amends, to right the wrongs, or mend the fences. I tried to tell my side, but they won't hear a word that I say. And though Pissant may die, I played him my way. This sucks. It's so unfair. There's just no way that I deserved it. Each joke that I tried to share would waste away if I conserved it. I tried to compromise and let them have their little byways. They say it was unwise playing it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you've read, when I ran off, leaving Hal for dead. But through it all, when things were grim, Ferris stepped up and salvaged him. And though we'd fight, I did what's right, playing it my way. I've played a prank or two, but stealing's not always abusing. It's not my fault that they can't understand what's amusing. To think they'd always shout because I played a clever, sly way, and then they cast me out for playing my way. And yes, I went rogue. Their plans were lame. What's the point of playing games if you are made to follow fools who all get mad because you're cool. And though they hurt my character, I played him my way. Bam. Beep, 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 beep. So I quit my way. I don't know how well it's gonna go. It felt pretty good. It was one take. It was pretty smooth, but without the backing track, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in my voice compared to Frank Sinatra. But it is what it is, and thank you to the Twitch chat for being nice, making me feel confident about it until I hear it in the regular video. Thank you. Bravissimo eventually, I'm sure. So the outro. If you're not into sentimental asides, then I guess just skip ahead or go do something that you enjoy, like watching some more ReddX videos. Hey, it is the big brain play after all. God, Irish Pirate out here just plugging it endlessly. That's beautiful. I want to thank everyone that's tagged along for this adventure. When I wrote the first one, I didn't really expect anything to come of it. In fact, something went wrong and half the post got deleted. I almost took that as a sign to give up. It would have been easy. Truth be told, I had about as much confidence in my writing as I have in a wet paper towel's ability to safely catch a Fabergé egg that was tossed from a third-store balcony of an heiress who just found out that her betrothed had eloped with another. That was the test, okay? That's the universe saying, is this really something that you want? And you persevered. You remade the post, and you were rewarded thusly for it. So now me and Irish Pirate have a pretty strong bond. Like, I talk to him mostly more than other people in the Discord. He's a good fella, you know? I at least have as much faith now as I would place in a dry paper towel's momentum arresting capabilities. Come on, you're at least a drier sheet. Those things are unrippable. Most of the feedback I've gotten throughout this series has been positive. The negative opinions have been heavily outweighed, and that has inspired me to start writing recreationally again. It may not sound like it at first, but that is a pretty big deal to me. Honestly, that's huge. I mean, I stopped writing recreationally after I did it for a job. My soul was crushed, but I'm so glad that I could reignite a passion for you. Eventually, we're going to get a book written, and then I'll narrate it for the audiobook. We'll get it up on Audible. Then we can get the Audible plug in here. Hey, this video is sponsored by me. Me and me alone. Oh, also the patrons. And any of the ads you saw in the video, they're also sponsoring. Anyways, I haven't been able to muster the willpower for something like that since, like, before the pandemic started. I've even started setting some of that time aside for a project I'm working on that I hope someday to make into an audiobook with a familiar narrator lending his voice to it. Oh, up top! I totally spoiled the surprise, but yeah! I'm totally on board for that shit. Pain in the Neckbeard is to be a retelling of my experiences in college, wherein I will take every neckbeard I met over the course of those years and merge them into one grotesque creature that would make David Cronenberg say, yeah, not bad. Thank you all for your feedback, both the good and the bad. Flattery and spite have carried this tale from episode 1 to episode 9, with a bonus in there, so it's 10 parts. And Star Wars Shenanigans will return in the form of a series of short stories, as well as the long-advertised Rogue Son, a Star Wars Shenanigans story that I'll be helping Hal to write. And no, I haven't forgotten those of you that requested more Ballad of Papa Pirate. I'm working on those next. Promise, Swizzies! Just a fact, something like that. Finally, I want to thank ReddX himself. Oh, you're too kind. Your laughter and kind words have pushed me to keep going, and, per your request, I'm gonna start seriously pursuing the idea of writing professionally. Until the next tale, Irish Pirate, sailing off. I mean, I'm sure you're great at psychiatry and the thing that you do, but it's a crime to keep writing of this caliber away from the rest of the world, isn't it? God, I love everything that he's written. Even the parody songs and stuff. Irish Pirate and I were bouncing around some ideas about like a rewritten version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you know, with Ramtide as Uncle Joe and Osgood as Charlie Bucket, and they come to ReddX Industries and get a tour while all the other beards are like picked off and shit. Just like Willy Wonka. I might end up having to animate it myself, but I've been practicing animation a little bit, as long as it gets the point across. Like, that's the whole idea, isn't it? I'm sure it'll go fine. I'm sure it'll take a while to come out, but while we're unveiling projects, yes, that is a thing that I want to do. So yes, I didn't start reading this story to change anybody's life or perspective on themselves, but I'm glad that it was able to do that for you. I get a lot of feedback saying that, you know, writing these stories and hearing them read back with some commentary in between is a really cathartic experience, and I'm glad that I could help out in my own little way. This story was an absolute joy from start to finish. I don't know if you'll have any, like, super major long sagas like this, but anything else that you write, I will definitely read, not necessarily for the channel, but absolutely in my spare time. Like I did for the post about your wifey. I'm like, yeah, let's check that out a little bit. I don't think it fits on the channel, but I don't know, maybe a revenge subreddit or something like that. We can try it out. It's worth a read, although I have already read it and kind of spoiled it for myself. Yeah, it's up in the air. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Maybe share the video around if you should like, or the first part of this video, or the compilation if I've compiled it by now. We've also got all kinds of links down in the description. Plugs, playlists, podcasts, woo! All kinds of stuff going on. Check it out. Castbox, Deezer, Spotify, iTunes, etc., etc. Just Google ReddX. You'll find some stuff. We've also got my social medias, of course, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and Twitch, where I'm live streaming this right now. I mean, not as you're seeing it, but I did live stream it at one point, and I'd like to see you if you can find the time to swing through. We've also got my channel members, my Patreon, everybody out here doing the most, honestly, for the channel, and I'm super grateful to all of them. So I'd like to thank them as I do every episode. So, thank you. Wired Up, Ian, Jerry, Dark Luscious, Harley Owen, Repent the Squirrel, Robert Waits, Camille Sarah, Chance with Blue Kraken, Roxanne Wolf, Sim, Jerry, Conrad Engie, Captain Clown, Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron, Jerry, Esteban, for all langside, Jerry Crusader, Jerry's Vote, Orgame Steve, B Pound with a bag of models from downtown, Jerry, beg for forgiveness, no forgiveness here, Silent Revolver, PCB, the original Jerry, Destiny Piper, Jerry Kitsune, a very tired Jerry, feel that, Justy Jargonian Jerry, and Frankenberry, ain't that hiding, bitch, Aspen XO, Assassin Punk Jerry, Aurora Wildheart, Baby Jerry, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, Bitch Gremlin, Blip Blue Jerry, Catholic Jerry, Commander J Tank, Confederate Jew, Dennis Dayton, Dr. Lux, Emergent Jewel, Aaron Era, Esparks, First Never Studios, Fire Drake, Gypsy, Hate Dream I'm Slim Jerry, I'm the real Jerry, Inquisitor Jerry, Irish Pirate, made port to find the stowaway, but had to weigh anchor when I heard the frightful cheek of a beard cheek. Iron Hollow, Irradiated Gem, a pimp named J Crisp, JM Coon, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Alabama the Trucker, Hong Kong, John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt, hey, you're not gonna believe this. It's my fucking name too. Crewy, Dudley Cragen, Legend Maker, Miss Monday, Lord Jerry, like and subscribe. Milady Nix, Malama Man, Marvel says ReddX can't pronounce Naruto, Melgar Destroyer, Metal Fector, Needless King 89, Nightmare Jerry, Paragon Soul, Fate of the Pine, Jerry Kins, Jerry Beth, Queen Sway, Lucic Quagmire, Rose Jerry Miller, Sarita the Lolita, Sassy Octopus, Scarlet 7, Serena Moore, Sergeant Gaycop, Bring on the Law, Silo Wimp, 70 Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tomago, Tapio, the Blue Tato Fair, the Italian Greyhound, Dino, the Little Sue, the one true Fusky, Train Boy, woohoo! Trying to find a bubble to get back to the real world. You probably don't want to blow to that balloon, not. It's a stinky balloon. V3 Prime, Vanguard Angel, Viking Jerry, Wiki Tac, Wilmax, Stephanie Gargoyle, or Clay. It's Jerry time. Holds ReddX Morpher, Self-Reflection, Comrade Mooney, Kira, not another Jerry, but he is though. Redwind, not Viper Safe Blessing, Third Stuff, Venom Jerry, Jace Christensen, a normal Jerry, Activate Transformation Belt, Hein Sheen, Tolman Rider, Beard Grease. I don't know what that is, but it's a reference I don't understand. Admiral T-Tank, Amber Alder, another stupid hipster, Atomic Jerry Zilla, Bartender Gilia, Blueberry and Apple Pie, Broken Spine Horseradish, but Greedy Jerry is such a nice girl. Cake Jerry, the original different Jerry, yeah. California Jerry, Girl Shepherd, 7 Lock, Chikara the Panda, Corey does art, sometimes. Corporal Admiral, Princess Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Cryptiddy, Stefan Jerry, Def Tuna, Dopamine Dane Jerry is Dwarfy Dude, Ghost of Alva, he cannot, Janitor Jerry, Jeffrey, Gerald Brivia, Jerry Tom versus Happy New Year's, Wavy Apocalypse, Jerry Springer. The results are in. You are not the neckbeard. Yay, Jerry the Sussy Baka. Debbie's mom has got it going on. Check out that mustache on Jerry Older Rivera, Jerry Roxers, Jerry Role Playing Game, Keaton Tales, Kid Marvelous, Kids Again, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, Mama Machia, CD, maybe next time Milk Fed, Get Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, Raptor Art, She's my Jerry Pie, Go Drink a Mountain Dew, what a bit surprise, Skymar Ravenswood, Snary, that's Snom Jerry, if you didn't know. Snowman, what is best in life? To crush your neckbeards, to put them feet to Jesus, to hear the lamentation of their body pillows. It's still my favorite one. Smoothie the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry Ton, Techno Dubs, the original Jerry, to Infinite Jerry and Beyond, Gun Kale, Underwater Movies, formerly the X-Star, throws Julie to Mountain Dew, grow my neckbeard, grow. It's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher, Hygiene, it's Jerry time, holds ReddX Morpher, Humility, and thank you to my $1 patrons as well.
Of course, we'd also like to thank our YouTube channel members. Buy two, get one hand. The Gypsy Barber, Bearded Snake, Death's Flagship, Samantha, a tiny boy, yes, she in there. Fire Drake, oh my god, he's double dipping too. And Train Boy, who is also double dipping, my goodness.
Thank you guys. As always, you are the ones out changing lives. You know, I can't say how grateful I am to have so many great people behind me, lifting me up as their neckbeard king. I love it. It's beautiful. I shall serve humbly. So thank you guys as always. If you can sign up on the Patreon, that's huge. If you can't do it, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos, right? Right? That's what you're gonna do, isn't it? Anyways, friends, always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.